Hi, this is Frank Kuntz, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee. Mike Poirier will make a great mayor. Mike is consistent, he's thoughtful, he shows up.
Hi, my name is Ruth Esparza, and I'm here to support Mike Poirier for Mayor of Wenatchee because I had the privilege of working with Mike on the Wenatchee City Council. What I saw is a man of integrity who stands up for equality and what is best for all in the community. He believes in informing himself of the issues by listening to his constituents and their needs. That is the cornerstone of the leadership Wenatchee needs in a mayor.
Mike Poirier is not a politician. He is a guy who simply loves Wenatchee and is passionate to give back to his community. He has given his time, mind, and effort to many projects and committees over the years. That includes his 2 separate terms on the City Council. If elected, we could expect a smooth transition in completing the Confluence Parkway, which is essential in handling the growth of Wenatchee. His passions also include providing for the homeless with expectations, supporting the land trust with continued growth, and creating outreach programs in the community. He wants to know what you have to say. Mike is honest, experienced, and sensible. Imagine that. I trust him. He is my guy for Mayor of Wenatchee.
So we're still going with the real guy versus what my platform is. That's okay.
Yeah. And if it's going in a way that you don't like, let me know.
I turned my life over to you for
I know.
5 more months. I counted it out this morning. July, August, September, October, November, 5 months. It's not even November. It's actually 4 months. Think about July, August, September, October.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start there. How's that been actually, like, turning, you said it, turning your life over to a process, a campaign process?
Yeah, turning your life over to campaign process. A friend of mine told me it's almost like having a baby. That it's the whole process. You learn things from each trimester, I guess.
Mm.
But it's kind of neat. It's kind of impressive to see how much support I've received. Besides family, I'm getting calls. Bart Clennon, which 90% of the people know in Wenatchee, says, "Hey, we got to make sure our community is going the right direction." I love those calls. You know, I don't cringe for any calls. I get some calls that are hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And you have to face them. But I tell you, more and more, I'm getting all these other calls, Dave Galatly and Councilmember Koulas. But it always comes down to, I got stopped at Cafe Mila. I was having a coffee with Rosa Polito, who graduated actually with my youngest daughter, Libby. I thought that was cool. But as I'm leaving, sorry about that.
Hey, it's real life, right? Our phones never stop going off.
That's my son-in-law. But as I was leaving, a gentleman came up to me and just, "Hey, so you know I'm voting for you." He used to own a beverage company in Wenatchee, and I've known him for like 20, 30 years. And I said, "Hey, that means a lot, but it's not about me. It's about the community." And he just pointed at me, smiled. He's with 5 other guys having his coffee, pointing and smiled at me. He says, "That's the reason I'm voting for you." It cannot be about yourself. It's got to be bigger than that. And I truly believe, as I'm going through this process, I know more and more the direction of the city of Wenatchee is going to go. It kind of makes me proud to be able to represent the city, and knowing that the direction it has gone overall, I think, has been great. And the direction that's going to continue to go with my leadership is opportunity for me to do the right thing for our community. So,
what are some of the hard phone calls that you get? Because I have to field some of the difficult conversations too, and I don't tell you all about them, but it's not easy. But I've had to deal with difficult and different minded people, my entire career for different reasons. So I've found a way to not take it personal, is I think the first rule of the game. Like, it's not about you. It's not a personal attack, but what are some of the things that you're getting phone calls about that are difficult, and how do you handle it?
What I have learned is when people, and I've learned this through my business experience, is when people contact you, call you, and they're upset about something. First of all, they're usually upset about not what they're talking about. They might be upset because maybe they lost their kid 2 years ago and life's not fair sometimes. But if it's issue that's a true issue, I would rather talk to him directly, personally, than face to face, than on a phone, and to find out really what's going on and try to listen to both sides. There are some people that don't want to listen and they have their mind set. Very few people are like that, but I'd rather go and we both have different ideas, or we have a different process of getting there. But if we both truly believe in the community, then I think it's fine. We don't have to always agree, but if we both think we're going to the right direction to get there, and eventually we care about the city or a community or greater Wenatchee area, I think that's great. I have conflicts with some of the commissioners once in a while, and we laugh and joke. And usually when I'm all said and done, I says, I love you. We're not right on the same page as this, but we both know whenever I have those conflicts, we both know we're trying to get the right direction. There is sometimes that you can't get there. One of the calls is regarding pride flags, which is actually in Wenatchee, they're diversity flags. And what is the meaning? But Wenatchee has a process of the permit process to go through. I think it's a good process. I think we need that. I really enjoyed seeing a quote from a mayor over a different area that said, "There's no room for hate." I love that quote. It's just, to me, it's just impressive. It's interesting. So certain quotes mean a lot to me. So that's one quote that means something to me. There's no room for hatred here. Let's work things out. Let's try to figure it out. Let's be positive and enjoy our community. So since I'm speaking of quotes, I'm going to tell you, I was on a Together for Youth board meeting, and Together Youth just got a $1.5 million grant, which is unheard of.
Wow.
For the Together. Yeah, it's pretty cool for Together for Youth. And I was very proud to be on, I'm proud to be on that board. And Mario Reyes and a couple other people are very influential in there. And our new executive director got a hold of somebody that's in charge of the whole country for this grant and actually got us the 1.5 million. And I'm on the Zoom meeting with this lady, and she obviously looked up my name and says, "Oh, I hear you're running for mayor. I'm glad you're stepping up and stepping out." So I use that all week, and then I still use it every once in a while. As Nikki knows, I use that, but it takes a lot to step up, but it's more, make sure you step out and get involved and remember what the right thing is to do.
Hi, I'm Mike Poirier, and I've been getting asked a lot lately, why did you decide to run for mayor? Because I truly believe that I am the person right now who is most qualified, and I'm looking out for what is best for everyone in our community as a whole. I know you won't agree with me all the time. Even if you agree with me today, tomorrow we might disagree. I hope that you come to know that even in these times, you can trust that I will make the hard decisions for the betterment of our city.
Hi, I'm Shyla Burgess, and I've known Mike Poirier for nearly 20 years. I've always known Mike to be calm in a crisis, consistent in his decision-making, and open and genuine in his communication. This is a historic time for the city of Wenatchee. We're making monumental investments in transportation, public works, and community development projects. I know Mike would be a great mayor, and I'm hoping you'll join me in electing him this November.
Mike Poirier is not a politician. He is a guy who simply loves Wenatchee and is passionate to give back to his community. He has given his time, mind, and effort to many projects and committees over the years. That includes his 2 separate terms on the city council. If elected, we could expect a smooth transition in completing the Confluence Parkway, which is essential in handling the growth of Wenatchee. His passions also include providing for the homeless with expectations, supporting the land trust with continued growth, and creating outreach programs in the community. He wants to know what you have to say. Mike is honest, experienced, and sensible. Imagine that. I trust him. He is my guy for Mayor of Wenatchee.
During my 20 years as a member of the Wenatchee City Council, I have served with quite a few other council members, including 2 of the current candidates for mayor. I'm Mark Kulas, and I endorse and support Mike Poirier to be our next mayor. Mike's approach to decision-making is measured, rational, and above all, founded with compassion. Mike truly cares about everyone in our community. This is why I like Mike for mayor of Wenatchee.
So I have different types of conversations with different types of people. And I know that I can find common ground between you and them if I just talk to them long enough, right? But I can also find areas of dissension. And I think that's anybody. Not any one person is going to agree with you 100%. That's the point I'm trying to make. So people can find reasons to like you and agree with you, and there's a lot of reasons to do that. But they're always are going to find reasons that they disagree with you, because there's always going to be something that they disagree with, including me. I don't agree with you 100%, and I am running your campaign. I heard after you did the interview with Dave Fernstein on KPQ, we got some feedback from the listeners and one side or the other. And there was one phone call I got, and it was just from whatever he heard on the air, you doing that interview. He goes, "Oh, I'm not voting for that guy." When you hear that, one, what do you think he heard in that interview to make him say that? And how do you react to nobody's going to agree with you 100%. But do you think they're still going to go out there and agree with you enough to vote for you? Or what? How do you deal with that to get them to realize that you are honestly, genuinely the best choice in leadership for this community?
Boy, that was a lot of information. There.
That's what keeps me up at night.
So I'm going to jump back. And so obviously for my campaign, so everybody knows, Nikki and I, sometimes my words aren't perfect, but we fight a lot. And we, especially at first, and it was like, Nikki had this idea, and I'm like, well, no, I have this idea. Nikki's thinking, well, you should look at this. Well, we'll look at this. And I think it's good to have people that will question you. And I think it's good to have people that say, wait, what are you doing? In the same token, I also want to be around people that can keep an open mind. Because for the listeners now, because Nikki and I keep an open mind, we always have to go back to the common good. So when people say, hey, I'm not going to vote for you, I'll be real upfront. I don't hardly get any of those.
Yeah.
I'm getting more like 100. I'm so glad. 100 to 1 maybe. And some people already have their mind made up, and that's great. But I would wish people at least do the research and see who's running and what they stand for, what they have done in the past, what their history is, and what they want for the future. And again, I think if they always keep what's best for our community, it's always going to come back to me. I'm going to be real frank about it. If it comes to what's best for the community, not about myself, it'll always come back to me.
Hi, I'm Mike Poirier, and I've been getting asked a lot lately, why did you decide to run for mayor? Because I truly believe that I am the person right now who is most qualified, and I'm looking out for what is best for everyone in our community as a whole. I know you won't agree with me all the time. Even if you agree with me today, tomorrow we might disagree. I hope that you come to know that even in these times, you can trust that I will make the hard decisions for the betterment of our city.
Mike Poirier es uno de los candidatos para la alcaldía de Wenatchee. Mike tiene la preparación, la experiencia y el compromiso para ser un gran alcalde. Su trabajo como concejal de la ciudad le da el conocimiento para manejar los asuntos del municipio con eficacia y con un servicio al cliente de primera. Mike ha sido claro en afirmar que exigirá que todos los empleados municipales participen en asuntos comunitarios para que aprendan que nuestra comunidad es diversa y la población necesita un municipio que esté a la altura de sus expectativas. A votar todos por Mike Poirier es la mejor opción para nuestra comunidad.
It must have been a weird realization when you're sitting around at city council or a board meeting or the transportation council, wherever you're on all these different boards. Even I can't keep up, but you have this realization and you're looking around the room and you know in the back of your mind, Frank's not going to run again for mayor. And you run through the roster of who could possibly be the next guy or gal or whatever. And you yourself make the very short list. That had to have been a weird moment in your mind.
Yeah, it kind of goes back further though, because again, I'm on some of these committees because the current administration wanted me to be on a couple of these boards because that's the boards the mayor was on. I believe Mayor Kuntz wanted to at least give me knowledge to learn about these boards the last couple of years. But when you have like Councilmember Kulas, people should really listen to Councilmember Kulas. He's been there for, I'm going to get this wrong, 12, 16 years. He knows everything about how this government works. He knows what direction the future holds. He would be a great mayor. He has a knowledge, but he's actually supporting me because he believes I'd be a great mayor. And
why don't you think he ran?
I think he didn't run. I think he had enough at being city council. He's not going to rerun. But also, when I asked him to rerun as city council person, he says it's time for me to be behind the next mayor. And that's what he's trying to do. He also, whatever it's worth, after I'm mayor, he's going to be one of the key people I have contact with because of all his knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about this community. We have so many people that they want to participate.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I have all the knowledge, but I sure know where to go to get the knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's the key with a lot of things.
And that is, I think, when we talk about, you and I talk about a lot of the smooth transition in leadership, right? That's a big part of what's going to make a great mayor, make you a great mayor. Okay? That's why you are the future mayor of Wenatchee, because you have a smooth transition of leadership because of all these factors, but also because of the key support that you have behind you. And Mark Kulas is one of them, but we're talking about like a foundation of people in strategic positions all over the city and county that support you, whether it be publicly or, silently, that will help make the future of this community just stay strong. And that's the stuff that like people, I think every day, people just walking around doing their groceries, going to work, like they don't really want to think about that kind of stuff, right? And normally they're just like, I need to pick up my kid from daycare. I need to have all my kitchen is trash. I'm thinking about my own life.
Well, we all have busy lives.
Busy lives. Yeah. So I say just they should go for you for just like ease of transition.
I first met Mike on medical mission to Haiti in 2010.
Since that time, I've seen that Mike is a dependable person who cares about people.
He has this deep sense of fairness.
And his experience on the city council has prepared him to be Wenatchee's mayor.
He has a fascination and a facility for the workings of city government.
Also, he has clear ideas about how to implement improvement.
I know that he will make our city a better place to live.
For all people.
I like to talk a lot about the different boards that you've been on and nonprofit advocacy and philanthropy that you've done. And if people want to see the long list, they can go on to WenatcheeValley.com and there's a list there. But from your past experiences, is there one in particular that you really enjoyed your time on?
I think each board that I've been on has unique qualities. I mentioned the Together for Youth, but it goes beyond it. The Together Youth goes into the schools. Now, the city doesn't directly deal with the school, except there's a lot of safety issues. So you definitely want somebody that wants to protect our children and to realize maybe this is a safer school route. And so you need a mayor that wants to participate. And the current superintendent, Corey Kalahar, is actually on Together for Youth board also. So
how long have you been on Together for Youth?
Maybe 5 or 6 years.
How did you end up on the board, involved with it?
I believe it was Ruth Esparza, which she was a council person. And when I was on the city council, she asked me to be on the board. And then, of course, you do your thought process and talk to everybody. And Corey wasn't the president of the board then. It was a different person. But whatever it's worth, I used to substitute teach. I did that because not for the money, believe it or not. And most teachers will get that. But I did it because there was a shortage. So I volunteered, or I got my emergency sub certificate, and I wanted to contribute back to the schools. So, and I was always involved with my kids, but then now my kids are gone. But I did that for about 5 or 6 years, I guess. Anyway, so I kind of bounced them back and forth. But there's definitely a safety issue with the schools, and I think that has to be considered. Should there be a light here or not a light here? What are we doing with our sidewalks? Are they ADA approved? What are we thinking for our future?
What does Together for Youth actually, what does the organization do?
So they go into schools to educate. They'll educate parents and educate teachers also. It could be as simple as sometimes there's a pop can, and a pop can can be converted over to maybe a smoking device, but it's to be on top of the. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that's just one aspect, but it's an educational process. This new program, the 1.5 million that they received, is for an internship from age 16 all the way to 25, I believe it is, and that's so kids can have something, get some money, and hopefully transition to a permanent job.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, the Together for Youth gets all the way into 4th grade, and they'll do outreach. There also is suicide prevention. And that's obviously something that our society has realized we needed a few years ago. So we got involved with that.
And what is your position on the board for Together for Youth?
A board member, one of 7 members. Finances are, I think
you love numbers.
People love.
Oh my gosh!
I think people pick me for number. They enjoy
because nobody else likes to do that. It's like, we need a numbers guy. Let's go to Mike. Gosh, can you take a look at this? Yeah. If you enjoy it.
I do like numbers. We have responsibility, right? I mean, when you pay your water bill, you pay your sewer bill, your garbage bill. I have a responsibility to make sure we get the best value out of it, right? I don't know. I think it's those things that add up. I remember Mayor Kuntz the first year, whatever, 5-7 years ago, he asked me, he goes, it had to do with it was a $10,000 budget thing. And we must have sat there for 45 minutes arguing over this $10,000. And he goes, well, our budget's, $100 million. And I go, yeah. And he goes, so you're going to be the one that's going to see where every $10,000 goes. I go, yep. That's kind of a start of our relationship.
Somebody's got to know where every $10,000 goes.
Yeah. So, but isn't that the mayor's responsibility?
I first met Mike on medical mission to Haiti in 2010.
Since that time, I've seen that Mike is a dependable person who cares about people.
He has this deep sense of fairness.
And his experience on the city council has prepared him to be Wenatchee's mayor.
He has a fascination and a facility for the workings of city government.
Also, he has clear ideas about how to implement improvement
I know that he will make our city a better place to live.
for all people.
I'm endorsing Mike Poirier. I've done a radio ad for him. I did some video work for him. So, I look at the two candidates. I've known them both for, 40 plus years. And when I look at the qualifications of the two, to me, it's a pretty simple choice that I think Mike Poirier would do the best job of being mayor of our city. I look at Mike and he always is thinking about city first and himself second, or things that he thinks second. And I think that's a huge quality to have in someone who sits in this seat. I have said that many times that, when I get up in the morning, I'm a husband first, I'm a dad, I'm a friend, I'm a CPA, and the mayor is just something you sort of do during the day. And you never want to get up and first thing you say is, I'm the mayor, right? And it's just something you do. And it's something you bring your heart and soul and passion to, but it doesn't define who you are. And this won't define Mike. Mike's a dad, he's a husband, he's a business owner, and he'll do a great job. And I can't say that the same for his opponent in terms of how I think they would handle very difficult situations. There's a lot of them as mayor, and you don't get to get it wrong very much about how you deal with people, whether it's at the grocery store or at the American Performing Arts Center or wherever it is. You need to be 100%. You can't bat 100 or 500 at that. And so I have extreme confidence in Mike. I think he'll do a wonderful job running our city. And so that's who I've decided to endorse.
Mike Poirier es uno de los candidatos para la alcaldía de Wenatchee. Mike tiene la preparación, la experiencia y el compromiso para ser un gran alcalde. Su trabajo como concejal de la ciudad le da el conocimiento para manejar los asuntos del municipio con eficacia y con un servicio al cliente de primera. Mike ha sido claro en afirmar que exigirá que todos los empleados municipales participen en asuntos comunitarios para que aprendan que nuestra comunidad es diversa y la población necesita un municipio que esté a la altura de sus expectativas. A votar todos por Mike Poirier es la mejor opción para nuestra comunidad.
I do like numbers, but I think I'm good at seeing how things project out. So if we see a program or opportunities to get more money for the state or the federal, I think I could see those opportunities. It's easier for me to say, well, what's going on with this street over here? Can we apply for a grant over here? So I think it's also an opportunity for the mayor to get other resources for everybody that benefits everybody. Yeah. There's little things that happen, just paving a street. One of the big issues when I first got there, we pave a street, and then a year later, we're coming around and saying, well, wait, we got to dig up the sewer line. So it's like, well, let's figure out where we got to dig up the sewer lines first before we pave a street. And now that's kind of everybody knows, well, hey, what's our future here for the next 5 years? Let's think about it. Now, sometimes we might have to just pave because there's such bad potholes or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, city planning, definitely. I think a lot of people are really bad at project management, project planning, city planning. I think one thing that people liked in certain leadership is when a leader can understand numbers or can understand business, because running a city does involve some of that, right? Some involves some business know-how. And if you can understand that, then people are more comfortable. But I don't think that's everything these days. Like, you do have to understand a little bit of politics, a little bit of business, but you have to have tact and integrity that go with it, or else you're not doing what's best for the community as a whole. You're doing it selfishly.
Well, it's funny. Bart Clinton, when he called me and says, Mike, you need to be mayor. I'll do whatever you want me to do. And
for people who don't know who Bart Clinton is, who is Bart?
Yeah, well, he's an exceptional person. Him and his wife Sheila. We have McKinsey Landing now because of Bart. That was his child that they lost. Mm-hmm. He's been involved with Wenatchee forever. They're truly all that they care about the community. That's it. It's whatever's best for the community. So when I got that call, I haven't really known Bart that well. I saw him a couple city council meetings, but he called, you mentioned the PUD. He called me and just says, so, I went to the PUD meeting they had, and they were talking about the new YMCA at the old PUD service center down here on 5th Street. I remember when that came up a couple of years ago, was going on. All I know in my mind, the PUD has a responsibility, and they took on this responsibility, and they're doing a great job, to be fair. They got to finish the job they're doing, but it can't just be left behind,
right?
This building, and then it's just an eyesore for the city. So you have to think about the fairness in things. And the PUD took it upon themselves, or with suggestions of what's best for our community. And so I think they're doing a good job evaluation with organizations to see what to do with that land. And the PUDs worked well with the city to get the Confluence Parkway. If it wasn't for the PUD realizing this is the best for our community, which took the current mayor and the city council a year to go through this whole process, but it's working out and it came around. And again, it's going to be better for everybody here. But you're right. It takes some finesse or convincing with numbers, showing statistics like this is the right thing to do. Here's where we're going to be in trouble 20 years if we don't get something figured out.
There are exciting things happening in our city, yet Wenatchee faces some challenging times. We need to elect a mayor that is up to the challenge, one with talent, expertise, and proven leadership skills who can guide us through successfully. Mike Poirier is the candidate that has the necessary skills and experience for this job. Please join us in supporting Mike Poirier for mayor.
Hi, I'm Mike Poirier. I'm running to be Wenatchee's next mayor. I have a long history of engaging in volunteer work that has made this community a better place. With proven experience in city government, with my time on the city council, and being recruited onto boards and councils by the current administration, preparing me to serve you as mayor, I will take the experience and ensure a smooth transition of leadership for our city. I'm Mike Poirier, the future mayor of Wenatchee.
There are exciting things happening in our city, yet Wenatchee faces some challenging times. We need to elect a mayor that is up to the challenge, one with talent, expertise, and proven leadership skills who can guide us through successfully. Mike Poirier is the candidate that has the necessary skills and experience for this job. Please join us in supporting Mike Poirier for mayor.
I have known Mike Poirier for about 12 years and served on Wenatchee City Council with him twice. Mike is very thorough when making heavy decisions that will have an impact on the citizens of our community. He takes his work very seriously and does his due diligence. Mike respects all of the citizens of Wenatchee and cares very deeply for their well-being. It requires a certain skill set to manage a busy city like Wenatchee, and Mike has those skills. For those reasons, I encourage you to vote for Mike Poirier for mayor.
Hi, I'm Nikki Darling, and I normally like to stay away from talking about politics, but like many of you, I am always eager to lend a hand to my city for the betterment of the community. That's why when I heard that Mike Poirier was running for mayor, I actually felt a sense of relief because a like-minded and genuinely good person was willing to stand up at exactly the right moment and do what is needed for the city. Mike Poirier is the future mayor of Wenatchee.
Hey, it's Nikki Darling with another episode of the What's Up Wenatchee podcast. On our past episodes, we've dealt with a lot of different issues that are dealing with our community as far as local government and legislation, and even to get a chance to talk with the current sitting mayor about a lot of those issues. We do know that he is not seeking re-election in the next go around. So that is bringing up a lot of question marks for the leadership in Wenatchee. And we know a couple of different people who are thinking about maybe running for mayor or that have said they're not interested. So we made a conscious decision that we're going to be keeping a close eye on this. And I have gotten an exclusive with one of the candidates who it's the declaration comes up next week. So we are pre-declaration for making the decision to run for mayor. And this guy is going to sit down with us for just a little while today and tell us why he is excited for running for mayor, why he's made this decision, and just give us an idea of what he's all about. I'm very happy to introduce to the What's Up Wenatchee audience to the future mayor of Wenatchee, Mike Poirier. Welcome to the program, Mike.
Thanks, Nikki, for having me. Seriously, this is great. It's an opportunity to show people what I've been doing and what I want to do for the future.
So, I mean, like, let's start right there. Like, what have you been doing most recently? I think I know because like I know you and I follow what you have been doing and I know your family, and we can kind of talk about that in just a little bit. But for people who aren't familiar with you and your work in the advocacy of this community, what have you been doing most recently?
Yeah, most recently I've been on the Schland Douglas Transportation Council, and that's helps with the Confluent Parkway. And the current mayor, Kuntz, he spearheaded that and he did a great job. And I really want to be out there to be mayor to continue his efforts and continue for the strength of this city. So it's kind of exciting. It's been like over a year process, depending on what I wanted to do. And I got so much support. I said, this is going to be my future.
Right. And that I mean, the transportation budget and sitting on that and being involved in that has to have been such a huge project, the Confluence Parkway. And now let's talk about that just for a minute. Like, I don't want to get too much into the weeds on that because I want to know about you, but since you're involved in that and it is such a huge project that's going to be affecting everybody in this community for the next, I mean, just the construction of it alone for the next 5 or 6 years, but for the betterment, hopefully, of our increase in population and people on the roads and people commuting are those the support of those types of projects and expansion in Wenatchee something that you are in support of?
Boy, you brought up a lot of issues.
Sorry, yeah,
no,
I went right for it.
which is great. So the Confluence Parkway, with the commissioners, with the PUD that okayed this, and we finally legislation just passed a week ago about where this money's going to actually come through. Even though they give it to you, they have to figure out ways how it's going to come to you. But I also believe we are in a wonderful position for Wenatchee Valley that we have a responsibility, and we've been doing a good job, but we have a responsibility to keep like land trust and keep going with the land here, because if we're going to take away, and just like the commissioners at the PUD says, we got a responsibility. Everybody has responsibility. If you're going to take something, then put it back. The nice thing is about this, we have the land that we are transitioning over. But I also believe the future for me is to look for more land for land trust, or more land for us as people enjoy our valley. I've always believed the Confluence Parkway for the next 20 years, or 20 years from now, if this wasn't happening, there'd be a lot of frustration, as you can imagine, with traffic. But I want both. I want to relieve the traffic, and I want to now start looking for even more land for our future. So, and it's interesting because you brought up households, whatever. I'm also on a different board.
Okay.
There's 1,000 households projected in Wenatchee by 2050. So these are all future based on statistics of what's going to happen and what we need to do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Wenatchee is getting any smaller as far as population. It is a place that people want to keep moving to or retiring to. It's a nice place to live and raise family. And speaking of family, like, you are a family man, you're a business owner. And so let's introduce people to who you are and as not just the future mayor and what you believe in, as far as local government and the expansion and growth of our city, but who you are historically and and what legacy you're leaving here as a person, right? You have not only been working in any kind of philanthropy and advocacy work within the community for almost 40 years, but you have built a business here and raised a family here. That is a big deal for people like me who aren't from here can really look up to somebody like you and say, this is a place that I could do the same thing.
Sometimes I take things for granted. What you just said puts a smile on my face. Starting from 8 years old picking cherries, and everybody's picked cherries. Can all think of their fingers getting rubbed with calluses. I mean, I still close my eyes and I look at cherries. And so I had the opportunity to work here. And I always say I worked here, played sports here. I go to college, Eastern Washington University. And fortunately enough, I met my wife, Maureen, who decided that we both wanted to come back in this community. So we came back in 1989 and with no job actually. But we knew we wanted to live in the community.
Stop it.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. I had no job, and my wife and I had a tough situation, and I hope my wife's okay with this. We lost a child, and so we made that decision to come back here because we knew this is where our family would be. So then it's a responsibility, of course, to create a business. And now the business I'm in, it's been 45 years. And it's kind of nice because we've gone to like 6 employees. And so it's nice to always give back to the community. Whatever it's worth, the community, I've been involved in the community for quite a few years before even city government. It's just a passion. I believe you have that responsibilities. Wenatchee High School, I was in charge of Meals on Wheels. And so I think it's there. I think most times most people are good people and they have what it takes. They just need to be asked sometimes.
Yeah, I've talked about this sense of responsibility to the community with other community leaders like Darcy Christopherson from Apple Blossom and Alex Haley from the PAC. Like we've talked about this and where it might come from, and how Wenatchee is such a great community for instilling that in its children. And there's so many programs like Apple Blossom for young girls that it's just as you grow up, you get involved. We do kind of take it for granted because not every community has something like Apple Blossom or has programs to get kids involved in volunteering and philanthropy and giving back to the community. But this community does. Like it built upon it.
I think the best question you ask is, can you help me? And I believe this is a great opportunity for me. I believe we need more people to engage in our community as far as the government part. But I believe if it isn't government, at least engage in something. And tons of people are doing that. And we have to continue that for our future for Wenatchee. I it's just the right thing to do it. And I know everybody's listening right now, watching this, they know it's the right thing. And if you want to get involved, you do not have to go very far.
Mhm.
You really don't to find where if you have, call me, call the city,
Right.
call
me.
you,
Yeah.
call Nikki and say, hey, this is what I like to do. Where do I start? And I'm telling you, there's thousands of things. And you don't have to commit for 50 hours a week. Maybe it's 1 hour a month,
Yeah.
and
And I guarantee you the people that you're helping will be so grateful that you did. Can we talk about your wife for a second? Because she is totally the better half of you guys. I'm a little biased.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've been married 37 years coming up, and a lot of people gotta know this last name. It's Sachs, SAX. And I married a local gal, and we both graduated from Eastern. She taught school for 30 years, and one of our many proud things of our children, but two of my daughters teach special ed in Wenatchee.
Yeah.
And it's the idea of giving back. So I think my wife and I have both
taught our children to give back. But
Mhm.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like I said, I am a little biased because your wife, admittedly, is one of my best friends in the world. But I did tell her that if I thought you were a complete jerk, I would tell everybody and let them know. And that's not the case. I think you're a wonderful, smart man. So I will tell everybody that because I tell the truth and I'm real all the time. So she thinks the world of you, and I just love you guys and your entire family. You're right. You have two daughters who are special ed teachers, but you have three daughters altogether. And I've gotten a chance to get to know all three of them, and your grandchildren are just, oh, they're so adorable. And my kiddo gets to play with your grandkids sometimes, which is a trip. There was one time, I'll tell you, we had set a play date where your grandkids and my kiddo were going to play, and we had to cancel for some reason. Trenton wasn't feeling well, and your granddaughter almost had a complete and utter breakdown. And you know how she is. She's just kind of flippant. Like, she doesn't really get attached to, so like, she's just one of those kids. But to your wife called me and said that she had this complete breakdown because Trenton wasn't coming over. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
every and I know you're talking about my granddaughter, but every child's special, right? And you look at those proud moments. So Easter a few weeks ago, we were over at Easter egg hunt, and as kids can get rambunctious, it's not their fault, excited.
Yeah.
There's a little girl that didn't get 3 Easter eggs because everybody's supposed to get 3 Easter eggs. And so my grandson went over and gave him one, nobody prompted him. He just went over and gave one of his Easter eggs over. And that's a proud moment to watch
Mhm.
because nobody told him to do that, but somehow it's instilled in him to do the right thing. And what's the difference if you're 5 years old or if you're
50 years old.
59,
Yeah.
59 years old? And it's still doing the right thing. So yeah, and all children are great. And your grandchildren, everybody's grandchildren, not yours, but everybody's
Yeah.
grandchildren are the best, right? But you do love and you do have influence over your children and grandchildren, and they watch you every day and they will admire you if you do when you do the right thing.
Yeah. It's
So
true. And you know what, Mike? Sometimes doing the right thing, no matter if you're 5 or 59, doing the right thing is not always the easy thing, right? Like your grandson handing over his Easter egg, probably really difficult, right?
yeah.
Doing the right thing. So even at 59, making the decision to run for mayor, bringing it back around to that, even though it is the right thing, and in your heart it's the right thing for the future of this town as far as leadership goes, and you're in that position to be a great leader, it's probably not the easiest decision. Am I right?
Yes, I've been thinking about it for a couple of years. Mayor Kuntz put me on a couple of them, or I volunteered on a couple of the committees that were on that. They're all the other mayors and commissioners around. So obviously it's been known, or at least for me to get educated enough to understand this. So it's great to have all the support. I mean, this is before I even file, and I must have 1,000 people that came up to me and said, "Hey, we want you for mayor. We like how the leadership's been going." There is some changes or some things that I do want to make, but again, the existing Mayor Kuntz has done a wonderful job. He's saved our city with the town Toyota Center as far as budgets, and I'm on the finance committee, and I've been on that twice now. And
I'm losing track of
yes,
how many committees you're on.
well,
I'm trying to keep track.
I I think it's important to be educated,
Yeah.
and nobody should run for mayor unless they're willing to sacrifice or do the right thing, however you want to call it. You have a responsibility. I mean, you can't run for mayor just saying, okay, I want to run for mayor. You need to be able to be educated, to be a leader, and show the other city council people this is the direction we're going, and learn from them and learn from all this experience. The main reason I'm doing it is because I believe I am the best person to do this.
Yeah.
If I didn't believe that, I would not run. If there's somebody that I believe is better, I want to support them.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt about it. Because I want what's best for Wenatchee. I really do. That's deep down. That's what that's my goal. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to, my business runs, I can have it run by itself. I have another owner. And so my commitment's going to be that I'm going to let my business now run
Uh-huh.
with a new owner, a part owner on it, and then dedicate it even more so to the city when I'm mayor.
So it sounds like you have a pretty good relationship with Mayor Kuntz.
Mayor Kuntz graduated, unfortunately, from the University of Washington. Just kidding. But I've known Mayor Kuntz since he was in high school, and he, you know what, same thing. Good family, good person, and I think it just needs to continue. Yes, I have a great relationship with Mayor Kuntz. We argue about things, and we should argue about things because we both want what's best for Wenatchee, and that's important.
Yeah, constructive debate is a part
Constructive
of
debate, that's a lot better than me saying fighting.
Yeah, I am working on my diplomacy, so
Maybe I need to
you
a little
may
bit better.
yeah. I'll help you.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness. Well, it seems like he is working, with you on these committees and things like that, so that it should help the transition into new leadership. When you become the future mayor of Wenatchee, or you are now the future mayor of Wenatchee when you actually become the mayor of Wenatchee, and it is good to see that you have already some support before you're even declaring. That must feel good on your part.
It's great. I truly have a list of 1,000 names, and I receive phone calls from people saying, "Will you run?" And I've been receiving those. I actually received 4 years ago. They wanted me to run for mayor, and I said no. Mayor Kuntz deserves one more term,
Hmm.
and so it's been out there, and I'm still getting calls every day, truthfully, to say we want to support you. And to be honest with you, I'm looking for people that want to endorse me. And I do have a site, WenatcheeValley.com.
Yep, I just put it up on the
Oh, you did?
screen. Wenatchee, it was perfect timing. You did it great. I was like right on cue.
That way you can see a little bit more of what I've done, what my commitments are, what commitments should be for the future. But yeah, I'd love for people to sit there, even if you sit there and say, "Hey, I don't like what's going on."
Hmm.
You know what? That's what I want.
Yeah,
Because if I can get people that want to help me, that's important. Important is, you call the beta constructive. I call it
constructive debate. Yeah.
debate. It helps us all to realize, as long as we keep our open minds, it's like, oh wait, I forgot about, gee, we need to get some more land over here because we took away some land over here. We need those conversations.
Right. I think sometimes the general community forgets that the mayor or people in their local government who are in leadership are human beings as well. Right. And we're all fallible, and we're all trying to do the best we can with what we're handed in any given situation. And even when you are in the leadership position of mayor, a lot of people are going to agree with decisions that you make. And there's people who are going to disagree with every decision that you make. Doesn't matter. And those are going to be the same people in different situations. So you have to walk this diplomatic, here's that word again, fine line, and not, even including me. And I know you, right? I'm not going to agree with every decision that you make, or I'm going to agree with some of them. So I have to trust that you are there making the best decision for the community as a whole. But we talk a bit about transparency
Yes, transparency
in
and what you're
communication.
talking about, it to me, is outreach. And I one of my future thoughts is having some more outreach programs.
Mhm.
And because not everybody can make it at certain times to the city council, but that doesn't mean your representative shouldn't be able to talk to you and bring those subjects up to the city council. So I brought this up actually at a work session a month or two ago, and that's something I want to encourage, more outreach, so people can interact.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to take advantage. I hope people are going to take advantage of that. Just being out here and knowing that's one of the issues. People feel like they're just talking to a brick wall half the time when trying to interact with local government officials. So knowing that that's one of the things that it's important to you to have two-way communication, I think people will find that important.
Communications, even if we don't agree,
Mhm.
if we communicate and we're willing to keep an open mind, we're going to be okay. It's okay not to agree on everything, but it's not okay if people have closed minds. And so yeah, I really truly believe in transparency. I want people to sit there and say, "You told me this so many times that I get it." And I don't know. The government is just it's just people, right? So
Well, people get a little iffy and punch drunk when we talk about politics nowadays, and just the word politics, it brings up the just memories or visuals of extreme right or extreme left or Democrat or Republican, and it's very divisive, right? Politics in general. So I don't find you divisive. Like, I don't find you as somebody who I find you just the opposite. So,
political party,
Poli-
sorry to interrupt, but
yeah,
all political parties have great things.
yeah.
So why not take the best for Wenatchee
Mhm.
and use that? So
So
yeah,
you are deciding not to run with either political party.
I want what's best for Wenatchee. So to me, what's best for Wenatchee is to take things from both parties. So, and that's my goal. Yeah, if I thought of being a Democrat or Republican meant it's better for the city, then that would be fine. But I truly believe let's use everything we have here to do what's best for all of us.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get a question. A lot of people ask me those questions.
It'll be interesting as we move through the rest of the campaign to maybe speak with you a bit more about what things from the Democratic side, what things from the Republican side you align with and that you think are going to be applicable. But I think that's neither here nor there. We've kind of talked a bit more about being, fiscally conservative and socially liberal, and I can relate to that. There's a bit more of where I align. I mean, your thoughts on that,
Fiscal responsibility, that's the key.
right?
I mean, and that's what's nice, been on the city council finance committee, and I've been asked to be on it again. But yeah, you have to be fiscal responsibility, but the same thing, like homeless is an issue that's not going away,
Yeah.
but we can't enable people either. So we have to figure out what's best. Every community, this is a situation we're going through the whole country, and every community take care of their responsibility. The question is, don't take more than your responsibility. So how do you do that and stay within the laws? And the safe parks have been working out great. There's other cities that are actually looking at us of how we demonstrated do not enable, and we're really that's one of my big things is. And so if somebody's at safe parks and they have 20 bicycles on top of their motorhome, they have to improve. So improvement for some people is not the same improvement for other people. So we want to make sure they know there's services here that can help, and we are educating people with
Hmm.
those services. And maybe that person with the 20 bicycles on their motorhome, they have to get rid of one. That's an improvement. So we need to look at the positives. It might not be improvement in some people's eyes, but if we can educate people and keep going with this, it's good. And again, I don't want to be an open city that says everybody come here. That's enabling. I'm not doing it.
Hmm.
We got to be fiscal responsible and do the right thing. It's hard.
Well, again,
It's hard.
you have to remember that they're human beings too. Just like you or the mayor or anybody else, like we tend to either put people up on pedestals and forget that they're human beings, or we put people down in the dirt and forget that they're human beings having a human experience. So let's try and just be nicer to everybody.
It's somebody's mom, it's somebody's dad, it's somebody's child,
Mhm.
it's somebody's brothers, it's somebody's sister. We have to have compassion, but same token, you do have to be fiscally responsible. It is hard. This isn't it is easy, and most of us know people that have issues, mental issues, or drug issues, or alcohol issues, and it's no easy. There's no special sauce.
Mhm.
It's just
Wouldn't that be
it's
nice?
not. Yeah, wouldn't
Yeah.
that be nice?
Yeah. People think there is, but there is. It's hard work.
It's hard.
It's hard work. It's hard work for everybody. I mean, everybody's out there doing the best that they can.
But again, people are good people.
Mhm.
I'm looking at this camera saying, "You're good," because it's true. Because I do believe humans are good people.
Innately, yeah. What does your I know you're really close with your family. I love like you live next door to your daughter and grandchildren,
My
and your other daughter lives with you.
my oldest daughter bought our house that our children raised in, and it was too big of a. It's like 3,000 square feet. And it was too big, and they started a family, so it was the right thing for them to buy our house, and then we built the house
Right next door.
a small house next door to them.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's
Are you
good.
kicking yourself in the butt because of that one? Or you love it?
We overall it's a great thing. And then my other daughter Emily is about a mile away, and her husband, and they have a young daughter. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, it's
Are they excited that you're running?
I think they know I think they believe I'll do a good job. So
Mhm.
they care about the city too.
Yeah.
And so, and I think my daughters, all three daughters, would vote whoever they thought would do the best job, even if it wasn't me. And I
I
gotta tell you,
100% believe that.
that is cool.
Yeah.
That's a neat thing. If you think about it, if you raise your children and say, do the right thing, and they sit there and say, and they'll tell me, they'll right out tell me,
I'll vote against
I'll
you.
do the right thing. So
That holds you to a high standard, right? Like, they're gonna keep your feet to the fire,
Yeah.
make sure your integrity is intact because, "Hey, dad, if you don't do the right thing, I'm gonna vote for the other guy or gal or
Yeah.
whatever," right? Yeah.
I like that. To me, that means my wife and I raised them. We did okay.
Yeah. You guys did a great job. Well, Mike, this has been an honor to have you here and talk about this a little bit. But well, if we can, we'll get you back on. I know it's going to be a busy season for you going forward through the campaign. We've got the primaries in August, and then we're going to breeze through the primary, and then we'll see you in November for the election. So we'll want everybody to get out there, get registered to vote, and check out what Mike is all about at WenatcheeValley.com. You can see all of the different boards that you've been sitting on over the years, check out your history, and also send in an endorsement, which would be awesome. So any kind of personal or professional or political experience that maybe you've had with Mike in the past, you can write that in and it'll be highlighted on the website, WenatcheeValley.com. And we'll see you out there on the campaign trail.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yeah.
I like this.
Oh, good. I'm glad you had fun because the rest of the campaign's going to be crap. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I'm Abby, Mike Poirier's oldest daughter. I'm a teacher and I support my dad because he supports schools in our community.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm also a teacher, and I vote for my dad because he values diversity and inclusion in Wenatchee and makes family a priority.
Hi, I'm Livy, the youngest, and I support my dad, Mike, because he continues to educate himself to find the best solution for any challenge that arises.
Hi, I'm Maureen, and I'm grateful to be here supporting my husband, Mike. Mike is passionate about three things: his family, his work, and his community. He has natural ability to connect with people everywhere he goes. That's why I know he will make a great mayor for Wenatchee.
Mike for mayor.
Hi, I'm Julie Robinson.
And I'm Steve Robinson.
We've lived in the Wenatchee Valley for nearly 25 years and we care deeply about our community and its future.
And that's why we're supporting Mike Poirier to be the city of Wenatchee's next mayor.
Mike served on the city council for 2 terms. He's responsible and has the experience and vision to continue to lead Wenatchee into the future.
Mike has good judgment. He believes in transparency and civic engagement. His singular goal is to make Wenatchee a better place to live, work, and play.
Please vote for Mike Poirier, City of Wenatchee Mayor.
Hi, I'm Shyla Burgess, and I've known Mike Poirier for nearly 20 years. I've always known Mike to be calm in a crisis, consistent in his decision-making, and open and genuine in his communication. This is a historic time for the city of Wenatchee. We're making monumental investments in transportation, public works, and community development projects. I know Mike would be a great mayor, and I'm hoping you'll join me in electing him this November.
From Zabel Stadium defense in the league, the Tribe. They'll have their hands full today trying to corral.
He is a 2020 hairs way defense.
Wow, Sean.
Way better.
From Zabel.
Sean's looks like they like to hit his dot, but mine is way better.
Hey, I'm Mr. Consistency there, baby.
From Zabel.
And by the way, he came in. He said Enzo Arjona, the backup quarterback, not Arjonia, Arjona.
Enzo Arjona. Sone Ento. Macungie, Pennsylvania.
You ever been to Macungie, Pennsylvania?
I'm not.
I have, a bunch of times.
Border, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
It's out near Bethlehem. Not too far from Elm Springs Golf Club. High school buddy used to live in Macungie before he moved down to Florida. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What is that?
Going off the rails.
Okay.
So no matter what you adjust that, it doesn't turn him down. He's talking to us.
No, right. No, I think it just turned. Was that just to Jay or was that to all of us?
I think that was just Jay.
Okay, good. Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's better.
Got a wind up there on the mic.
From Zabel Stadium in Williamsburg on the beautiful campus of William & Mary, welcome to From Van Wagner to the Tribe Sports Network and the CA Flow Sports Game of the Week. The Tribe hopes to keep their playoff hopes alive as they take on the Monmouth Hawks in a big CA football battle. Hello, everyone. This is Jay Colley, and today, with my colleagues, Hall of Famers Mike Leach and Sean Knight, we invite you to stay with us on this gorgeous Family Day game. And there's a lot to talk about. Mike, it's the number one offense in the league, Monmouth, versus the number one defense in the league, the Tribe. They'll have their hands full today trying to corral Jaden Sheridan.
Yeah, Jaden Sheridan, the 5'9", 195-pound running back for Monmouth out of West Haven, Connecticut. He is, as Tribe defense coordinator Bill Rebel calls him, explosive. He's got unbelievable wiggle to make tacklers miss, and when he gets in an open field, he's got an extra gear that turns great plays into touchdowns. He was in 2022. He was CAA Offensive Player of the Year. He was on multiple All-America teams, and he was a finalist for the Walter Payton Award, FCS's version of the Heisman Trophy, on a season in which he averaged 156 yards a game and scored 13 touchdowns. The problem lies when you try to stop Jaden Sherman. They look at with the RPO, the run-pass option. They'll fake that ball to Sheridan, try to get the defense to suck up, and they'll hit a receiver behind the defense. And the receiver they like to hit is Dymere Miller, number 5, a senior. He's 57 catches on a year and averaging almost 100 yards receiving per game. This offense is indeed explosive, and the Tribe defense wants to try to slow them down today. It's going to take a total team effort.
Wow, Sean, sounds like the Tribe offense is going to have to put some points on the scoreboard, and Hollis Mathis may be an important role.
Absolutely. Hollis Mathis is a really athletic young man who established himself as a dynamic threat offensively from the day he set foot on campus as a true freshman quarterback, establishing records for a true freshman here in both total yards as well as passing yards and rushing touchdowns, only to see 2 of those records eclipsed by the current starter, Darius Wilson. I tell you, it takes a special young man to handle that, to adapt to that, and Hollis Mathis is that type of young man. He's adapted very well, remaining an integral part of the Tribe offense. In fact, a year ago, led the conference in total offense with over 230 yards per game in total offense. As a passer, he's only thrown 1 interception in the last 129 attempts. And last week, he had 5 catches for over 60 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Again, I think Coach Christian Taylor, the offensive coordinator, will look for ways to get him in space, to stretch that defense, challenge him horizontally, but also use his speed to challenge them vertically as well. So we're really excited about seeing what that mastermind Christian Taylor is going to do with Hollis Mathis to create issues for the Hawks today. I think Hollis Mathis really typifies the type of young man that we get here in this football program, who's not only a dynamic athlete, but also a solid student. Hollis Mathis has earned his way to the commissioner's academic honor roll. So we're really proud of that young man and the way he's adapted and the way he continues to strive for excellence in all facets of his life. It's going to be an exciting day here.
I mentioned there's a lot going on. It's Family Day at Zabel. The Tribe also dedicated the David Murphy Recruiting Lounge earlier. And oh, by the way, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so several of the players and the commentators are wearing pink. It's the Tribe versus the Hawks coming up. No.
Welcome to Screen Therapy. Screen Therapy at Howler Screen. It's scary good for you.
When it comes to Kings Mill, we're not just another resort. We're the only 4-diamond condominium resort in Williamsburg, providing an unparalleled range of newly renovated accommodations and dining experiences, a stunning setting along the James River, and a boundless range of recreational pursuits. Kings Mill Resort. It's fun, relaxing, and exhilarating. Kings Mill Resort, a memorable riverside escape.
Now, we're not saying your debit card is your best friend, but it can sure show the world who is. Let others see what really matters by creating your Design Mind debit card. Another reason why the switch is on to Atlantic Union Bank. When Allison couldn't find her debit card, she was sure it had grown legs, so she turned it off, then back on again when she retrieved it. Debit card controls. Another reason why the switch is on to Atlantic Union Bank.
Welcome back to Zabel Stadium. Today's game sponsor, VCU Health. VCU Health, proud sponsor of Tribe Athletics. It's Monmouth coming in with a record of 3 wins and 4 losses, 2-2 in league play versus the Tribe at 4-3 and 2-2. Keys to a victory from Monmouth today, Mike Leach.
Yeah, offensively, Monmouth's going to have to get up on that second level. They're going to have to get up on these William Mary linebackers, as the Tribe linebackers are great at running side on a sideline, and they're going to have to throw and catch. William Mary's going to have to bring somebody in the box and try to stop this running game of Monmouth. And when those easy throws present themselves, you're going to have to make the easy throw and catch. And defensively, they're going to have to eliminate the long runs and then get some pressure on Darius Wilson on as much obvious passing down.
Sean, how about the keys to victory for William and Mary today?
For the Tribe, defensively, they're going to have to really cage the Hawks. Being gap integrity is going to be really crucial, and offensively to really use and attack the entire field.
Makai Green will take it from the 7-yard line. He's across the 25. Nice run back, and the Hawks come out on offense, the best offensive team in this league, averaging over 440 yards per game, guys. It's the old immovable object versus the rock wall. I mean, it's the best offense versus the best defense today.
Yeah, like you said, Jay, it's going to be a great battle. I'm excited to watch this one as you look at the size of this offensive line here for Monmouth, just some big boys up front. It's going to be a tough battle for this Tribe defense, trying to stop them against the run and the pass.
Good point. 315, 320, 310, 320, 290 along that front line, offensive line. And, of course, they'll give the ball a lot to Jaden Sheridan, one of the best running backs in this league. We highlighted him in the pregame show, but the first play from scrimmage will be over the middle and a 11-yard pickup, and that goes to Asante Kearney with a nice catch and run, 11-yard pickup, 1st and 10.
Yeah, the Tribe just in man-to-man there, just ran a go route, the inside receiver, ran a slant underneath, and just a good throw and catch to Kearney.
Marquez McCray, number 8, is the quarterback for the Hawks. I'm not sure that's Sheridan behind him. We'll try to catch a number here in a moment. 3 down linemen for William and Mary. Corners are pressing. Now they back off that a little bit, and the handoff will go up the middle. And that is Jaden Sheridan, indeed. Gained about 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6.
Sheridan lost a helmet. That might be the only way to stop him, get that helmet to pop off and make him come out of the game for at least one play. It's like number 19 is checking in there in the game for Sone Ento coming in. That's the reserve. And number 18 for Monmouth.
He's a Harvard transfer. 2nd down and 6 to go. White uniforms, white jerseys anyway for Monmouth. All great unis for William and Mary this afternoon. Those sharp-looking green helmets with the WM insignia. Man in motion is a slot to the left side. Back to pass. There's a quarterback, McCray. He's chased out of the pocket. A flag is down, and he is dropped in the backfield. Good defensive pursuit. I know John Pius was one of those guys there.
Looked like number 78, Will Argo, grabbed a hold of, I think it was Nate Lynn there, and then may have thrown him to the ground. Both.
Holding. Offense number 78. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Excellent job. Excellent job by that Tribe front of keeping in those passing lanes. Good coverage downfield. Again, leaving the quarterback nowhere to run.
You saw that replay there. Pretty obvious hold there. Just threw Nate Lynn down to the ground and declined by William Mary. Going to take the sack and bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd down and 8 instead of 2nd down and maybe 18. Coach London putting his defense on notice. You got to get off the field, something that the Tribe did not do in the second half last week in that tough loss here on homecoming to Towson. 3rd down and about 8.5 to go. Quarterback is number 8, Marquez McCray out of Pennsylvania. Back to pass. He goes in the pocket. Looking down the middle. He throws that way. A diving catch. And it is a 1st down as Monmouth gets into William Mary territory for the first time today. Gavin Nelson on the catch.
Ryan Poole was playing press there before the snap. Dropped back to about 10 yards deep. Just ran an inside release there. Did the wide receiver to a deep in route. And a really good job stepping up in the pocket by McCray, delivering a perfect ball.
Mike London, 4th-year coach at William and Mary, won 11 ball games last year, took the Tribe to the national quarterfinals. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. This Monmouth munched 2 wins and 2 losses in the league play as they'll hand off to Sheridan, who spins his way out of one tackler, and he gets a quick 18-yard run by Jaden Sheridan and guys, we see right there how difficult he can be to bring down.
Very difficult to bring down, very shifty runner, but also has the speed to take it the distance if you don't corral him. See, he's got excellent patience, making the cut, putting his foot in the ground, and making a guy miss.
So back to live action. He's going to throw that ball downfield wide open, and they will get a man at the 5, maybe the 6-yard line, and that'll make it a first down and goal to goal. Dymere Miller, Mike, you mentioned him in the pregame, and right now, that right there, he was wide open.
Yeah, just a scissors concept. They ran a post route from the outside, ran the corner route underneath it, and tried bit on the post, left that corner wide open and exposed.
Well, one of the top offenses in the league, beating the Tribe right here on the first drive anyway. And the handoff will be to Sheridan, who will try to beg his way forward inside the 5 and down to about the 4-yard line. Gain of 2 at 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of getting off the field, Jay. They had that 3rd and 8 and then couldn't get off the field. Now, a few plays later, Monmouth all the way down inside the 5-yard run to the Tribe. It was, like you mentioned, a tough way to go last week for this Tribe defense, not being able to get off the field. It led to that loss last week. And right now, you got it. Every opportunity you get, especially on 3rd and long, to get off the field, you got to take advantage. Tribe did such a good job early in the season of getting off the field. The last couple of weeks, it really has been a point of weakness for the defense.
Sona Into is the running back. Actually, he's going to be it's a direct snap to him. He'll go right to the left side of the football field, and he will get buried at around the 2-yard line, maybe a gain of a yard. He'll bring up 3rd down and goal from there. Again, Vasey may have been on that play. He rushed in very quickly, the freshman, who's having an outstanding year out of Centerville, Virginia.
Ento is their power back, their short yardage guy, only 5'11", but 235 pounds. He packs a punch when he carries that ball, and we expect to see him a lot in short yardage situations.
3rd down and goal from the 2.
Wildcat again.
And it's Into again. And he will climb into the end zone for the score. So the Monmouth Hawks in their first drive of the game, very impressive. We talked about their offense from the get-go. Not as much Sheridan potentially as we expected, but this is a nice run by Sona Into. He had a big hole. So
Really nice play design. They really overloaded the formation to the right, creating a soft spot on the to the right of the Tribe defense. So the offense is left, and again, relatively easy jaunt into the end zone there.
Left-footed kicker, it appears to be Vincenzo Ria, who will attempt the extra point. Their primary kicker coming into today's game was Michael Calton, and we understand he missed an extra point last week. Matter of fact, one of the reasons they lost barely, 28-26 versus Campbell. There's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. So we have a timeout on the field. 10:28 remaining. Monmouth looking dandy in the first drive of the ball game, and the Hawks lead the Tribe 7-0.
Fun fact, Mountain Dew and spicy chicken is the perfect combo.
Does it look like I don't know that?
Okay. Didn't mean to ruffle your feathers.
You know, we both did the employee training, Gary.
Okay, don't jump down my beak.
Doing spicy? Do the do.
When your child is fighting cancer,
You gonna walk out here on your own? Okay.
you never know what is possible. But you will always know where. Introducing the new Children's Tower, a hospital unlike any other, designed for the unique needs of kids and their families. The new Children's Tower, unlike any other.
So many people here that invested in us, invested in me, invested in my teammates through the years, that we owe it to them to pay that forward to the next person, right? To give them that opportunity that we had, whether you're a scholarship player or a walk-on. And then as well, to much who's been given, much is expected. And I know I'm been so blessed beyond my, wildest dreams. And that all started here, right? The chance that William and Mary gave me, now I'm looking to do great things with it. And again, spread the word on how special this place is.
Fans every sack this season is a sack to give back. Food Line Feeds will donate 1,000 meals to the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank each time the Tribe defense sacks the opposing team's quarterback. That did not happen in the first drive by Monmouth fellows, as they look very sharp going down the field, and the league's number one offense is ahead 7-0 over the Tribe.
Well, and I think we saw why. Their quarterback, McCray, is very efficient with his passing, sees the field very well. And, of course, they got a really dangerous tailback back there. And, again, just really, really methodically going down the field and executing the offense very well.
Here's the kick, the ensuing kickoff after that touchdown drive by Monmouth, and it'll be taken at the 7-yard line, and down the field goes at the 30-yard line to the 35, across the 40, or out to the 40-yard line. Carson Jenkins on a nice return, Mike.
Yeah, it's a spark you want to answer. Monmouth had a 9-play, 70-yard drive, 4:32 off the clock, but a good answer there by Carson Jenkins, giving his offense good field position.
Langley Federal Credit Union starting lineup, fellas.
Yeah, you see Carson Jenkins right there, the wide receiver, and obviously there at quarterback, Darius Wilson, seeing what he can do to move us. Looks like we're going to back it up. He pointed the wrong way. It's a penalty on. He pointed towards Monmouth, the referee, but I think it's obviously Tribe's backing up. So it's going to be a penalty on William Mary. So negate the great return there by Carson Jenkins.
Yeah, that's big. So starting from your 40-yard line, you start from your own 20 or thereabouts, and the Tribe in their all grays this afternoon will come out. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as we bring a little enlightenment potentially to that dreaded disease. We're going to, matter of fact, have a halftime guest to talk about that as well. This game is brought to you by VCU Health. Dr. Chung will be with us. It's 1st and 10. Actually, it's even deeper than that, starting at the 10-yard line. So their backs against the wall here. Darius Wilson will hand the football off up the middle, and that will be Martin Lucas for not much, maybe a yard or two, 2nd down and long.
Yeah, tough. The penalty was at the 21-yard line. So instead of having the ball outside the 40, they go half distance of the goal from the 21. William Mary forced to start at their own 11. So, again, a big penalty, and then not much on 1st down. So William Mary already a little off schedule here to start their the first drive of this game.
A couple of tight ends in the game here, Trey McDonald and Colton Turner. It is 2nd down and 8 to go for the green and gold. Malachi Emo alongside Darius Wilson, who goes back, passes that football over the middle. JT Mayo makes the catch up to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. He needs to get to the 22, so I think it's going to be a 1st down. It is 1st and 10. JT Mayo with a nice catch and run.
Love seeing JT Mayo work that little slot underneath stuff, Jay. He gets in that, find that little gap in the defense, catches the ball quickly, gets upfield. JT, I think that's where his role could be used the best, is those little short underneath stuff, that little slot spot, and get upfield and try to make some plays with his feet.
Excellent job of Darius taking what the defense gives him.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They're going to try to come off the edge here. Backing out.
That's going to be a run, and it's a nice run indeed across the 35 and out to the 37-yard line. Malachi Emo with a nice effort there. Got some good blocking up front by Francois and Grant and company.
See the replay coming out. We're watching the left side of the screen here. Just good job getting up to the double team. You see Bart Francois there, got a push. They had the double team, then climbed up to the next level on the linebacker and sprung Malachi Emo for the big gainer and another 1st down.
Tribe trailing 7-0, 8:38 remaining in the 1st quarter. Jay Colley, Sean Knight, and Mike Leach alongside. Good to have you listening on the CA Game of the Week on Flow Sports, as there's a fake handoff, and that time not much. Darius Wilson was cornered and dropped.
Ran I think it was Hollis Mathis actually there. Number 12 was in there. Jay took that little direct snap, and they ran the quarterback power on that play. One thing to note, Jay, Ryan McKenna not starting at center today. We heard he was a little dinged up. He's not in there. We got Bart Francois moved to the center and Caden Lynch at left guard. So a little shuffling around that William Mary offensive line.
Darius Wilson back at quarterback. He's got Malachi Emo by his side, 2 receivers to the far side. Back to pass goes the left-hander across the middle to JT Mayo, complete at the 44-yard line. It'll be a 6-yard pickup, maybe 5-yard pickup. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Again, if you can stay in those 3rd and mediums to 3rd and shorts, again, it keeps you on schedule. It's a very manageable 3rd down situation here for Darius and his crew.
Back to pass. Nope, it's going to be a run, and that's not going to be much at all. Matter of fact, it may have lost a yard or two. It'll bring up 4th down, and presumably the punting unit onto the field.
Yep, here comes Will Whitehurst on the field. On the season, averaging 42.9 yards a punt on 23 punts. So really good numbers for him. Last week had 2 punts for 43 yards. And any win, not a lot of win if there is any. It seems to be at William Mary's back right now. So I expect a pretty big punt here from Will Whitehurst.
Will was booming him in preseason practice, or rather pre-game practice, I should say, and that's another beauty. Well, that ball will turn over. A fair catch called for. It'll bounce at the 1 yard line and go into the end zone. So when we return to action, and we'll keep it here, Monmouth will have the football and then leading 7-0. So their defense does the job. The Tribe's defense does not, and Monmouth has the ball with a touchdown lead.
William Mary's got to answer back here defensively. Obviously, gave up a long drive, and last year had a tough start to that second half. They're gonna have to find a way to get off the field here.
Here, the Tribe defensive starters, of course, led by Nate Lynn and John Pius, but it certainly has not been just a two-man show this year. Also, our linebackers playing really good, and Kevin Gerald and really solid in the back end, led by Ryan Poole.
Number 8, Marquez McCray, will give that football off. Boy, what a nice run by Jaden Sheridan very quickly. He is quick, and you got 20 yards with a snap of your finger, and it's 1st and 10 for the Monmouth Hawks.
Yeah, it's very quick here. You see where the Monmouth offensive line does a very good job of sealing their blocks, or up front, our defensive line really kind of got out of their lanes a little bit. You cannot afford to do that against a good back.
Throw back to the right side of the 40-yard line, across the 45 and out to the 47. Washington on the stop, but not before about a 8-yard pickup. Jack Neri was the man that caught that football, the tight end out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and short for this very impressive Hawks offense so far this afternoon.
It's one of the weaknesses when you go man-to-man to try matched up across the board. That flat can be a little exposed if those linebackers covering those backs can't get out to the flat or to those tight ends. And that time we were unable to cover the flat. Good play on 1st down for Monmouth.
2 receivers to the far side and 1 to the near. Now one of those men in motion from left to right. Quarterback McCray, he will hand the football off again, and that time they get him from behind. Nice tackle by the Tribe player, but it's right